Today we have assembled here to worship Sadashiva, which is reflected within us as Shiva, as the Spirit. He is reflected in our heart. And as you have seen that the goal of our life was to achieve the state of spirit. The other day I was reading some books how it was done. With self-realization, to know the spirit, and how people were tortured. First of all, they were asked to some or other deny, defy and condemn their body. Now, if the body wants to have comfort, then it was said that first try to sleep on the carpet, not on the bed. Then still it's not enough. Then from the carpet you go to a mat. Still is not enough. Then from that you move down to the Mother Earth, sleep on the Mother Earth. Still, if the body is not all right, then you start sleeping on the stone. But still Himalayas are far away, because Shiva resides in Kailasha. So you go to Himalayas and sleep on the ice. This was the minimum requirement. Then it was said that you are fond of good food, you want to have sumptuous food, you eat a lot, all right. So you deny everything that you like to begin with, all that you like. For example, Italians cannot eat pasta. Then deny that. But that's not sufficient. After that, you start eating things which are very bitter. As in the Zen system, they give you to eat something which is like quinine raised to power 108, absolutely bitter or absolutely sweet. So put your tongue into test. But still the stomach is there. So if you are eating too much, you fast for 1 day. That's not sufficient. Then fast for 7 days. Then for 40 days. The month has got to be 30 days. To fast for 40 days means you are already finished. That's how if you have to do your penance for nirvana. As it is, you get a nirvana because you are finished and dead, you see. Nothing is left out of you. Nothing but bones, and these bones then become nirvana. Ultimately the death follows, so you are finished and there is nirvana, no doubt about it. Then you don't live in a house, because house is comfort. Give up your wife, give up your children, give up everyone. Now wear only one something like a cloth tied round. And go and ask for alms from people. With these clothes also, there is still a problem, because you are attached to your cloth. So you go to Himalayas, where there is nobody to see you. Take out your clothes, and in that cold, you stay there completely shaking. Then you will get your nirvana. As it is, you get nirvana. All such conditions were put as to destroy the demands of your body to begin with. You tell your body, no, nothing doing, you better work out your nirvana. The second thing was to destroy your mind, which takes you to senses, to things of joy. Supposing you want to have something very much. So, deny that. Anything that your mind tells you, just say no to. In Sanskrit, the shloka is like this: yan neti vachaner nigamo vachis. Which you won't say no, not this. And then you can discuss only nirvana. Before that, you are not even worthy of discussion of nirvana. When I read this book, I said, Baba, I give up. It's too much. But in Sahaja Yoga, it's the other way now. Like building first the pinnacle of the building and then the foundation. Opening your Sahasrara was the first thing was achieved. And then in the light of the Sahasrara, you have to watch yourself and see for yourself. Gradually the introspection was a better thing. Through vibrations, is to see why I want this, why my attention goes to my comfort, why my attention goes to food, why to my family, why to my children, when I have to achieve the highest. So you start introspecting yourself. Then you know on your vibrations also, there's something wrong with you. Then you don't try to see others. What's wrong with others? You start seeing yourself. Because it's your own ascent you have to achieve. But in the olden times, all these things were done individually. Like one person who starts the path of nirvana, he used to go into ekant, means into lonely places. Stay away from people, avoid them, have nothing to do, and achieve this ascent, self-realization only for himself. It was not for others. Then this gentleman became absolutely exclusive. He wouldn't talk to anyone, he wouldn't meet anybody, and he would sit somewhere on top of a remote mountain. Anybody who tried to meet him, he would throw stones or say all kinds of horrible things and never meet that person. But Sahaja Yoga is not the same. Sahaja Yoga is the ascent of the whole. This kind of singular achievements did not lead people anywhere. Saints, of course, tried to talk to people, tell them about self-realization, about God, about righteousness, about value system. But they too were regarded as something strange and were tortured and troubled. So, on the level of an individual ascent, they couldn't do anything for others except for talking about it, telling about it, till Sahaja Yoga came. Even the talking about it was prohibited. Till the 12th century in India, nobody talked about it to the public. It was all in Sanskrit, very difficult Sanskrit books, which were only available to few aspirants, was explained to very, very few even, amounting to few numbers of people. But giving realization was denied. So only one master had one disciple. And all was the individual ascent, individual working up. Such a disciple was taken away from others and was kept in secret, worked it out on him, and just he may sing, he may write poems, he may talk about it, he might say what his joy is, but he had no right to give realization to anyone, neither he knew how to give realization. So now you see how far you have gone. You've got your realization without giving up much. You can work on a much wider scale. You can give realizations to others. You know about all the subtle knowledge about Sahaja Yoga. But today I am going to tell you something more which we have to know. It's very important to know, because as was described by people, that they practice Sahaja Yoga as they go to church, but it's not from their heart. And heart is the abode of the spirit. It's the Shiva within us. So we have to know more about heart, and that is very important. You know about these three nadis we have, Ida, Pingala, Sushumna. But in the heart there are four nadis. And the one nadi goes to Muladhara. And if you cross the limits of Muladhara, it goes to hell. That's why they say that Shiva is a destroyer. Actually, you ask for your destruction. And when you ask for your destruction, you have it. Even if it destroys anything, as I was telling, it's like when a fruit has to come, the petals look as if they are destroyed. As I have destroyed, I would say many of your things, you can call it like your conditionings, your ego, your racialism, your fanaticism, all this has been destroyed in Sahaja Yoga. This has to be destroyed for the beauty to come out. So when your maryadas cross beyond a certain point, you go to your destruction. In four directions there are destructions built, as there are four nadis. So now what is to be done? How are we to stop this destruction of through the first nadi going to hell? One of the qualities of Shiva is that his innocence. He is extremely innocent. He is innocent like a child. His innocence personified. So, we have to put our carnal desires, dissolve them into the innocence, the ocean of innocence. You have to dissolve it in the ocean of innocence. Innocence is something to be appreciated, to be understood, to be enjoyed. Like you see animals, they are innocent. You see children, they are innocent. Flowers, they are innocent. Divert your attention to all these things. You see, on walking on the street, what is there to see best? Is all at 3 feet height. You see at 3 feet height all the flowers, all the beautiful grass, all the children who are about 3 feet are the best. We need not see people who are above that. Just see on 3 feet level. You can see the legs of somebody, that's all right. But you don't see the eyes of a person who are not innocent. So dissolve this desire into innocence. And this Muladhara, which is innocent, is not dead, finished, but is innocent. It is righteous. It is Sri Ganesha's qualities. It's pure. So even if you are in this world, even if you are living like a human being, even if you have children, still you are innocent. Like once, the wives of Sri Krishna, he had 16,000 wives to begin with, and the 5 more. The 16,000 were his powers and 5 were the elements. They were wanting to go to pray to some big, well-known, I should say, saint had come, a Maharshi had come. So they wanted to go and see him and pay respects. So they asked Sri Krishna's permission. But when they went, they found the river was all in speed. So flooded, they could not cross over. They came back, they said, how can we cross over this river? It's all in speed. So this Krishna said, all right, you just go and say, if Sri Krishna is Yogeshwar, and if he is absolutely innocent about sex, you go down. They said, how can we have so many wives, what is he talking about? So they went down and said this to the river, and the river went down, and they were surprised that this husband of ours is saying all these things. They went across and worshipped that rishi, And they were coming back again, the river was in floods. So they went back to the rishi, said, now how are we to cross over because it's in floods? They said, how did you come? So they told the story of Sri Krishna. Now they had fed this rishi with food and fruits and he had eaten such a lot. All right, you go and tell this river that this rishi has not eaten at all anything. He said, how can it be? Just now you ate before us. He said, just go and see. They went back and told this to the river. The river again went down. So to live in this world, to be a wife or to be a husband, to be married, whatever it is, you can be innocent, absolutely innocent about it. That's the sign of your purity. The second nadi, the second channel that can take you to destruction is desire. That's why Buddha has said that desirelessness is the only way that people do not get old, nor sick, nor worried. Now this desire that we have, I want this, the West is much more than anywhere else. Because the entrepreneurs are every day producing new things. Say for example a hairdress, so the women want to buy this wig or that wig, it's my desire, I must have this wig to put on my head. The another one says, all right, I must have this one. And the desire for men is, oh, if he is having a Rolls Royce, why shouldn't I have one? They cannot enjoy somebody else's Rolls Royce. It should be your own, that I should have the possession. Desires can be of any kind, not only material. The desires could be also quite mental. I must possess this woman, I must possess this child. All kinds of possessions that work into you as desires. I wouldn't say it is because of attachment. It's not attachment, but it is just to have more. Go on adding up things, getting things. Still, one doesn't feel happy and satisfied. What is the reason for this kind of desire? Is that it's not pure desire. It's an impure desire. It's an impure desire, and when such a desire starts working, you can go any far. Like Saddam Hussein, like Hitler, like anything is nothing but absolutely desire beyond any limitations. You want to dominate others. It's also another desire. All these desires lead you ultimately to a destruction. Because there's no joy, there's no happiness. For example, now I want to have a sari. So I want to buy the sari. All my attention will be, how will I get that sari? I must get that sari, this thing, that thing. The attention becomes polluted, disturbed. For a nonsensical thing like a sari, the attention which has to enjoy the spirit, which has to nourish the spirit, becomes disturbed because of desires. In the first place, the attention is disturbed because we are not innocent. In the second place, the attention gets into turmoil because we have desire. So what should we do as far as the desire is concerned? Desire for beautiful things. We can shift our desire, material desire, into aesthetics. I'll have one thing, but which is really aesthetically rich. Because that's the quality of Shiva, that he gives aesthetics to everything. Now supposing this looks very plain, simple, and you may say that mechanical. But if it was Shiva's job, he would have done something beautiful about it. So the quality of Shiva is that he beautifies everything that is created by Brahmadeva, evolved by Vishnu. He is the one who does the subtle work of creating aesthetics. You see my photographs many a times with so many lights, this, that. It's all his job. He's doing it. He throws lights in such a manner. He works out in such a manner. Just he wants to convince you about me. It's his job. So his job is to create aesthetics. Aesthetics of behavior. Aesthetics of poetry. Everything that is created is made beautiful, is joy-giving by Shiva. That's his quality. So whatever you desire, if you start working it out, desiring for something aesthetically handmade, nice thing, gradually you will find you will end up with vibrations, because all beautiful things have vibrations. And to have the vibrations, you will have to go to pure desire. So this desire, which is madness, which makes you mad, which is so much dull and boring, becomes pure desire, because you have to dissolve all your desires into vibration. You start desiring nothing but vibrations after some. You will not buy anything which has no vibrations. You will not talk to a person who has no vibrations. If somebody has vibrations, you will just run away. I've seen people running away from some people as if some monkey is after them. When I look around, I find there are people who are drunkard or somebody coming or something. They might have been drunkard themselves once upon a time. But now they run out. No. Not now, no more. We had 3-4 hippies to begin with, who came with me to India. They are normal like you, they were become research yogis. And 4-5 hippies came to my program. It was in Rahul. They got a fright of their life. Oh no, oh God. I said, what's the matter with these? Why are you so frightened? So I turned around to see these hippies, and by the time I turned around, they were out. They were no more there. So then what happens? All desire ends up into Chaitanya, into vibration. And if it does not, then you must know there's something still missing. But if you do not do this, then you end up into your destruction. So to say that he is a destroyer is a very one-sided statement. He has both the powers. He has the power to give you vibrations. He gives you vibrations. The goddess is the power, Shakti. But he makes the vibrations. It's like these are the fingers, all right. But if they tickle you, then it's Shiva. The fingers are that of the goddess, all right. But if it tickles you, gives you joy, happiness, it's Shiva. It's the bhakti. The joy of bhakti comes from Shiva. Today only I was explaining how one lady who was a Devi Bhakt and has done so much study of bhakti and all that and knew so much, just merged into me. I just couldn't understand her, what she has done. Because normally people don't do. When they are reading about Devi, they think, all right, this is Devi, this is Mataji. This is separate things. They don't know they are reading about Devi. So she said, Mother, I just identify. It's written that how you are gentle. The goddess is gentle. How she touches me. How she looks after me. How her attention is on me. Like there's a sentence, Kataksha, Kataksha, Nirikshan. Every glance is an inspection. But inspection, not a very good word, but Nirikshan means inspection, divine inspection. So all the time I feel that it's you are all the time. When I listen to music, I feel now, see, she's looking at me. She's feeling me. She's nourishing me. All the time I feel your love. That's how the bhakti comes in. So if you have vibrations, that doesn't mean that they are something dry, see? No. It means the joy of bhakti. Bhakti is, you call it adoration, this, that. But it's the ocean of love that is God. You just get drenched into it. There's no words to it. And that is what, when you feel, you must know that you have taken the spirit as a real connection between you and your mother or your father. There's no differentiation. You are one in that ocean, drenched in the ocean. You are the drop, you are the ocean. You are one in that bhakti. And that bhakti cannot be mechanical. Because not man-made. So to enjoy Sahaja Yoga, you must know that it's not dry vibrations only, but it's the bhakti. That is the joy of Shiva's quality of joy that he adds to our life. everything seems to be surrounded, resounding, same thing, the joy. That I am loved so much by God, that God loves me, that I have a meaning in life, then the ego drops out, first of all. And also the conditionings drop out. Now the third nadi is the nadi by which we feel attached. Attached to someone. Like, this is my child, this is my husband, this is my family, this is my wife, this is my father, this is my mother. In the beginning of Sahaja Yoga, of everyone, when they are just the beginners, so they talk about their whole family. My father is like this, my mother is sick, my mother's sisters, brothers, this, that, real, this thing is not well. As if, you see, we all have taken a contract. What should I do? Like today somebody said that, you see, they lost their first child. First child they lost. Because the child was sleeping in another room. I said, small children should sleep with mother, and mother must look after the children. It's a simple thing. I mean, in India, no mother would accept such a situation. She'll throw away the husband. So what's this? I have to look after the child. So I said, tell them that they should sleep with the child, so that they don't believe in it. It's all right. What can we do? Have we taken their contract that we should look after their children even when they don't want to listen to us? So the idea is all the time, in the beginning, is that, oh mother, I've been doing Sahaja Yoga for 1 month, but so far my financial condition has not improved. As if they are going to sue me for that. As if I've let them down. But they don't want to see that you have just now come to Sahaja Yoga. Or even if you have been in Sahaja Yoga for so many years, you have not been a Sahaja Yogi. Something missing, you don't deserve. Something wrong with you, not with Sahaja Yoga. But they feel that Sahaja Yoga is something which has got the contract. Immediately they'll inform you. Now somebody is sick there, somebody, send 5 Sahaja Yogis. For what? These attachments start working within us. Now some people have seen very attached to their children. And they go on pampering, my child. And suddenly they discover the child is a devil's child. The child starts answering back, saying all kinds of things, beating the parents, misbehaving. And then they suddenly discover that this is the child whom I have been looking after, giving so much love. And they feel even worse, because I have done so much for my wife and she is treating me like this. I have done so much for my husband and he is treating me like this. Why do you do so much? There is no need. And if you are doing it, you just do it and forget it. I never feel that way. I know of Sahaja Yogis for whom I have worked very hard and they have gone down. Only thing, if I feel anything, God knows where will they jump, where will they be in hell, what will happen to them. That's the only concern. Not the concern what has happened, because nothing can happen to me. But if they have been sinful, I just get worried about their future, about their lives. That's different. So this kind of attachment that is, we call it in Sanskrit, is mamatu. This is mine, that's my child, my this thing, my that. Who are your relations are Sahajogis. Remember this. It's a sentence you must remember. My relations are Sahajogis only. And anybody who plays against Sahajogis, troubles Sahajogis, that person could be my own wife, could be my own child, is not mine. I'll not allow such a thing to happen. This relationship is all right till Sahajogis are one with each other. As soon as somebody tries to harm any other Sahajogi, then I am not with that person. I've seen there are many like that, but very good Sahajogis. They'll never side with their wives, never side with their children. Because they know, if you are siding with them, you are making them sinful. You are destroying them. They are worried about their ascent. So they never allow anybody, a relation of theirs, to trouble others. I have seen some children who are extremely naughty, very troublesome, very violent. And the parents just saying, "Mother, put them right. We leave it to you." They are to be put right. But others may say, "Oh, no, you see, my child, he cannot do such a thing." So, one has to understand the discrimination part of it. That, why am I attached? I have given this simile many a times, like the sap of the tree rises, goes to various places of the trees, various areas, looks after the bark, looks after the branch, looks after the leaves, flowers and fruits, and comes back. Or it gets evaporated, it doesn't get attached. If it gets involved into one of them, the whole tree will die, and that part which is so close to the sap will also die. But sap has much more sense than we have. To them, husband so important. I mean, so many problems of husbands, wives, this, that. My God, I sometimes think, what is this? That's why they used to say, take a sannyasa. So nobody can talk about wife, children, nothing. You have to be a sannyasi. First of all, be a sannyasi. So no headache to the guru. As soon as you start talking about any one religion of yours, the guru would say, all right, you get out. Nothing doing. No good. But in Sahaja Yoga has much deeper work to do. It has to penetrate into the society, into the political life, into economic life. We have to emancipate the whole world. Try to understand your responsibility. They are not only here for one ascetic ascent. No. How much wisdom you must have, how much love you must have, and how much discrimination you must have to understand that you are chosen for the emancipation of the whole world. So now this so-called limited love, what is the solution which takes you to destruction? Is the unlimited love. Because Shiva is nothing but love. He is love. Love is that corrects, that nourishes, that wants your benevolence. That's what Shiva is. It wants your benevolence. It looks after your benevolence. So when you are looking after the benevolence of others with love, then the whole life changes. The whole pattern changes. And you really enjoy it because you become one with so many, concerned with so many families, so many things, so many problems of others and us. So you just feel you are one with so many. Tasi, we have so many Sahajogis here today. First time when I came to Italy, I must tell you, I came with Christy, what's the name of Gregor's wife? Huh? Catherine. And she's the only one who knew Italian. And we had told some newspaper to reserve some sort of a hall and advertise for us. Nothing was done. So when we came, we couldn't find anyone. So I went round with her to put the posters. But still nobody came. And today we are so many. But we must know that we are bound to each other by love. And the love that is for our benevolence, for our ascent. And then you just start enjoying everyone. Then you don't think what race you are, what country you are, what this thing you are, nothing. Sahajogi, finished. So you become a universal being. And this attitude has to be achieved. When I hear that some Indian girls are tortured and troubled, I think, how can they do it? Or somebody who is a black skin, they are tortured. Or some Indians are treating somebody because they are of low caste. It's not possible because we are all part and parcel of one body. We are all brothers and sisters, born of the same mother. But this is only possible when you dissolve that limited relationship of yours into this great unlimited ocean of love. Then only it is possible. And if it is not there, do not try to justify. Just watch yourself. See for yourself. Are you really in love with everyone? You see, I would say that all the time when I am supposed to go for shopping, I just think, oh, this one will be nice for this one. That will be nice for that one. For myself, if you say, it's impossible for me to buy anything for myself. It's an impossible situation. Unless it is absolutely immediate or some problem is there, if I'm just without it. I won't even buy a drink for myself, even if I'm thirsty. Because the whole thing is the joy of others. Oh, this will be nice for that person. This will be good for that person. All this is the most enjoyable thing. I mean, why all this is for there? After all, think about yourself. Why am I here? I'm here to enjoy everyone, everyone. They are all realized souls. Such beautiful lotuses. I'm not going to stoop down to the mud. Now I am a lotus. That is the way you open the heart. The lotus of your heart. And the fragrance of such a person is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. So you are no more divisive. You do not want to separate from each other. Anywhere is done, you are agreeable to that. You don't think that it should be done here or there or there. But anywhere, but should be. All of us together. So, the small attachments that are with you have to be dissolved into this ocean of love, which is Shiva. fourth one is the most important for all of us, is to know that there is a nadi which passes through left Vishuddhi into the heart, starts from the heart, goes up, passes through Agya. It has 4 petals and opens up. This is the one which gives you the state which is called as Turiya. We live in 3 states. In the awakened state, Jagruti, our attention goes to this, that and all that, we spoil our attention. But the second one is the one, what we call, is that we sleep. When we sleep also, all these things that have happened come to us from our past and things like that. But then we go to the deeper sleep called as Sushupti. It's a state where you have deep sleep and you dream of something that is reality also. You may dream about me, like it's the ethereal part of the subconscious where some beautiful informations are passed out. Supposing I come, say, to Italy. Italians might know in their Sushupti that I have come here, or maybe anybody might know, depends on. But the 4th state is called as Turiya. There are 2 more states. You are in a Turiya state, is the 4th state. Turiya means 4th. 4th state is where that you are in a thoughtless awareness state. When there is no thought, just think of it. When there is no thought, you have to be innocent. When there is no thought, you have to have vibrations. When there is no thought, you cannot be attached to anyone. So into that thoughtless state you have come now as a Turiya Sthiti. And in this state, when you are, these 4 petals which are within you have to open out in your brain. They come from your heart to your brain. And that is when we absolutely understand what is God. Absolutely know what is God is. That is the time when one receives the real knowledge. But unless and until these 4 petals open, one may fall back. And that's why some of the Sahajogis who are still meddling with things which they should not do, go down. And they don't understand what is God is. But it's not the understanding, you understand this one little point, that it comes from your heart into your brain, not from your brain to your heart. It comes as if the ambrosia of your bhakti covers your brain, absolutely. Say for example, Shankaracharya wrote a beautiful treatise called as Viveka Chudamani, where he described what is God, this, that, and Viveka means the conscience and consciousness and all that he described, quite a lot. But there was one horrible fellow called Sarma who started arguing with him and he got fed up, Shankaracharya. He said, no use talking to them. So he just wrote Saundarya Lahari. Saundarya Lahari is nothing but all the mantras praising the mother. He said, I know mother, now let me praise her. The thing doing, what's the use of talking to these people? Stupid things, how will they understand? He realized that these people haven't got that capacity, that sensitivity to understand what I know. That's the real knowledge, is to know what is God. And if that is God, then how can you suspect anything? How can you try to analyze anything? It's God. It's God Almighty, which knows everything, which does everything, which enjoys everything. That is the one we should say is the jnana, is the knowledge, is the true knowledge, the pure knowledge. Is not the knowledge of chakras, not the knowledge of vibrations, not the knowledge of Kundalini, but the knowledge of God Almighty. And the knowledge of God Almighty is not mental. Again I tell you, it starts from your heart and goes to your brain. Something that comes out of your experience of joy and covers your brain. So your brain cannot deny it anymore. Like sometimes when you have your mother, little mother, you know the love of your mother. So you cannot explain it. It comes from your heart. And you say, no, that's my mother, she won't do like that. I know my mother very well. The knowledge about your mother, the one who has given you birth, mother may not be very good or whatever it is. But knowledge about God, that He is love, that He is truth, that He knows everything, that just become part and parcel of your being. Absolutely. And that's the time we say is the nirvana. So it's important, especially for the people of the West. Now open your hearts, because it starts from the heart, not from your brain. Do not judge people on vibrations. Judge yourself all the time. I had told that Shiv Puja means more explanation, more understanding, more this thing, because in other pujas we do all these mantras, this, that. But in this puja is to know the knowledge is God. And to know that you know God itself is so great. Whatever it is, she may be Mahamaya, she may be anything, but I know. It cannot be described in one book, it cannot be described in 100 books. It cannot be described in words, but to know that's God. After all, that's God, God Almighty. And that gives you that beautiful surrender, where you just feel absolutely secure in that ocean of love. I wish you all to achieve that state. May God bless you.